3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Ash on Comics. I'm Ash, and today I want to talk about X-Men, specifically X-Men number 8. Now, what you're looking in front of you here is not X-Men number 8. This is X-Men, if I can get it to come in right, geez, is X-Men 162. More specifically, the Uncanny X-Men, before Marvel decided to cancel it again and again and again. What's it on the X-Men's on their 6th volume now? This is a book that should have never been canceled. It's the most popular franchise Marvel's ever had. It's the most beloved franchise. This is the book that really, I think, helped them separate from the pack when they took over DC. Started in the 70s, but really in the 80s, they just stepped out, shifted into 6th gear. Anyways, we're not here to talk about that. The reason I'm even bringing up this comic is this is the first comic book I ever bought. I bought it on a newsstand somewhere. I don't even remember where, as a little kid. And this stuck with me for a long time. And this would be the book that would ultimately make me pick up X-Men again years later when I saw it on the stands again. X-Men 210 and 211 at a drugstore. I was with my grandparents. They let me buy those issues, and I immediately was like, I'm going to start collecting X-Men after those 2 issues. But this is the one that planted the seed, which is ironic because that's kind of what the Brood do. And I've always been very partial to Wolverine because of this issue. Also, the Brood as a villain because of this issue. They're sort of my entry into comics. Now, Brood didn't get used too much after this. And it never got used quite as well, in my opinion, after this story. And, for good reason. Once you squash the bugs, like how much more can you really do with them? Now, so we fast forward to today, and X-Men number 8 is featuring the Brood, and really ugly art by Lionel Francis Yu, who makes every woman look hideous. Not hideous, but, in comic book terms. This is Magic, looking like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Anyways, at least the Brood themselves look kind of cool. But Hickman and Shi'ar. I don't even know who this Shi'ar guy is. He's Lionel Francis Yu's clone. Like, really? Do we need to clone this guy? So the book, it's not good. People tell me, Ash, these books are all supposed to be different flavors of the same thing, It's like going to 31 flavors. You might like chocolate, you might like cookies and cream, you might like pistachio flavor, but you're not a big fan of the strawberry ice cream. So you get the flavors you like. You don't need to buy every single book. They're all different flavors, and I say, bullshit. This is marketed as DawnOfX. It's marketed that you're supposed to read all the stories to understand what's going on. Oh, no, you just pick the books you like. This comes out of the horse's mouth himself, Jonathan Hickman. He tweeted himself, just read the books you like. Well, this story right here that I'm reading is out of New Mutants. I would not understand what the hell is going on if I did not read those New Mutant stories, right? So that's bullshit number 1. Bullshit number 2 is I say, oh, these books, they don't feel like X-Men. This is so cornball. It's silly Billy humor, da-da-da. Ash, they're not all the same. They're supposed to be different flavors, You might like the strawberry ice cream and the raspberry ice cream, but you don't like the chocolate. Look, first of all, these are all meant to target the same fan base. So they should all be palatable to that fan base. But second, this one is written like the New Mutants issue. So if X-Men is supposed to be the serious intellectual issue and New Mutants is supposed to be the silly Billy, like Disney Kids episode, or issues, so be it. I don't like that argument. I think that's a bad way to do these comics, but I call bullshit number 2 because this book, which is X-Men, not New Mutants, is written just like New Mutants. It's silly Billy humor, and it's terrible, it's annoying, it makes me want to see everyone die. So this story, to catch you up, is basically the New Mutants went off into space, and they had a little silly adventure, and they stole this thing here, which we didn't know what it was. I kind of presumed it was a brood egg, and I was right. It turns out that it's a king egg, so they've added to the lore, and now the brood queens aren't the biggest thing. It's a brood king, which we haven't seen before. Hickman's adding to the lore, but he doesn't really do much else with it, and that's kind of disappointing. So apparently the brood king could be, when there's a brood king egg, it makes all the queens get all, quivering between the legs, if you will, for that king, and they can literally smell the egg galaxies away. So they send off their little fleets to Earth, and specifically Krakoa, to get this egg. And then, we get a bunch of pages like, oh, look at the blah, 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 the brood. It's all scary. And then we get the white page of who we're going to see in this story. And then we get 2 more white pages so we can get the credits, which used to be, it took up less than the space of like maybe 1/6 of the page or less. Now it's 2 full pages. Then we get another wipe. So 4 full pages right now devoted to nothing here, but you're spending $4. Then we get this confusing thing with Gabriel, and just my own disclaimer, I hate Gabriel. I hate that they ever introduced a third Summers brother that never seemed to exist before. Just then all of a sudden it's like, hey, Cyclops and Havoc are both like, oh yeah, that brother that we never talked about, yeah, him. That's so stupid. Anyways, I know some more modern fans are going to be like, I like Vulcan. Well, that's because you came in probably within the last 20 years of X-Men, when it was way different than all the years previous. But I digress. Basically, the X-Men are a bunch of losers. As you can see here, they just sit around and party and drink all the time, which, what the F happened? What happened to, like, Marvel, who made Ethan Van Sciver redraw Wolverine because he had a cigar in his hands? They got to be all Puritan. Now they just literally are just boozing it up, doing drugs. Like, it's just, this is for kids? No, comics aren't for kids, Ash. Oh yeah, you gotta keep reminding me. But why is it written like it's for kids, and why has it got the silly Billy humor? The sitcom writing. This is like written like it's an episode of Friends. And it annoys me. So they kind of intermix it with this like, ooh, doom and gloom, here come the brood. And then there's this character. Now, I took a long hiatus out of comics for a while. What the F is this dude? Obviously, he's some sort of brood mutant. What? How? What? Someone explain to me in the comments. His name is Brew. Please tell me this isn't a Jonathan Hickman creation. I'm sure it's not. I don't think he's created any New Mutants. Whatever this character is needed to stay dead or in the vault or somewhere, to stay in one of Moira's past lives. Why? What? Oh, of course he's an intellectual. Of course playing gets typed. And of course he, who's never seen a king egg, recognizes it immediately. So stupid. And he lectures the New Mutants about how the brood are going to come. And sure enough, here they are. Boom! Their ship crashes, and out comes thousands of brood to kill everyone. Now, you remember that comic that I just showed you, issue 162? In that issue, all the X-Men were defeated, except for Wolverine, who would have been defeated as well if it weren't for his vaunted healing factor, because he does get kind of beat. He gets implanted with a brood egg, and he's going to transform, but his healing factor fights it off. Otherwise, all the X-Men would have died, or be brood or whatever. But not so much in modern X-Men. No, the modern X-Men, the New Mutants, are so badass, they can, look at this, you'd be dead in an instant. If you were in this predicament, there'd be thousands, I mean, they'd be swarmed on top of you. You'd be dead. I get it, it's comics, right? And of course, they're women, so they're the baddest of the baddest. They're slaying more brood than they could possibly swing or shoot at one time, using a bow and arrow to slay a legion. Just dumb. Of course, and then Scott and Jean show up, and they're blasting stuff, and it's really like there's no threat. That's the big problem of this book. There's no threat level. Like, I don't feel worried. They just show up, and it's like, what's the word, Jean? The council knows. There are about 30 telepaths I'm coordinating with. 2 strike teams are incoming. I'm doing what I can to keep everyone calm and orderly, but we're still going to lose people. Let me see what I could do about that. Captain, Commander, if you don't mind too much, make a hole for me. In fact, make a few. And it's all just really systematic and orderly, and she opens these portals, and he blasts through and just blasts all the brood. Oops. I'm always dropping my iPad lately. I don't know how that's going to sound on the recording. You may not even notice it. But anyway, so they're fighting, and then little Brew comes up with the egg, and he's like, excuse me. I'm a little busy, Brew. Can this possibly wait? Not really. I know why the brood are here. I know how to stop them. Well, now you have my full attention. Let's hear it. Scott, she says over telepathy. I'm a little busy, Jean. Can this possibly wait? Not really. Cue the laugh track. Well, get it? Because they, like, replayed the same smarty line. And then, like, realized, oh, the egg is so dangerous. We got to get it off planet. Personally, I would have just thrown it in a furnace and incinerated it. Okay. So they're like, we need to get a ship and da-da-da, take it off. And then immediately I'm like, wait a second, don't you guys have gateways that go all over the frickin' place? You can literally move this egg to another side of the galaxy in an instant and then drop it in a black hole. But no. Scott is literally talking to a teleporter here in the scene. How they need to... What? But she's not going to help. Because God forbid you use a teleporter to help you move something. So she says, can you hold things down here, Captain? To which he just responds, Urgh. And then he says, good girl. So, all you SJWs out there, I hope you start a big, nice Twitter canceling campaign on Jonathan Hickman because he just treated a woman like a dog. She growled like a dog, and he said, good girl. So he's obviously a misogynist, and he needs to be canceled. And for all those people who don't understand sarcasm, that was sarcasm. Look, they're using a gate. But they're using a gate to go to the moon, so then they can get on a ship. It's so stupid. And of course, all the Summers have to go. Everyone else has to stay behind for whatever this is a Summers thing. All the Summers triplets, I call them the Summers triplets, have to go, and you have to make some funny saying about Vulcan and fire because that's so funny because he says fire. Oh God. Get another white page. It's pointless. And then, there's a accuser here, and he's captured. Oh, no, he's captured the Starjammers because they failed to bring him an egg. And so we're going to write some wannabe Darth Vader dialogue. And he's going to say how they're incompetent, and he's got to save the universe from the incompetence. And then this. Where is it? Wow. You really beat the hell out of those guys. Can't say I'm surprised. They usually have it coming. And now that I think about it, I kind of dig you, man. Good work. Way to put your back into it. But I don't have your egg. Sorry. But you do know where it is. Let's just say that I have a pretty good idea of where to find it. Maybe I make a call. Things could be set in motion. You can end this whole thing a happy man. But I gotta ask, what's in it for me? What do you want? Well, me. I'd like to see you work over Mr. Mustache there a little more. But he's family of a friend, and I'm pretty big on paying it forward, so let them go, and I'll give you the egg. I'll give you the egg to them to get to you. Then you get what you want. They provide what they promised, and then you can lose my number. And that's that. Or nothing, because I just don't care enough to negotiate anymore. I accept. Of course you do. Dumb. Meanwhile, Gladiator is out playing hunt the space bug with his boy. Does every character have to have a son or a daughter now that it just can be their little tag-along sidekick? Is this legacy just out of control? And why is this kid so old? Gladiator never had a kid that I can recall, and he certainly hasn't been that many years or whatever. Here's coming soon. Now, wait, what happened, Ash? There's no story. Yeah, there's no story. Did you caught that? The Brood. Now you're gonna this could be continued next issue, Ash. Is it? Because this is X-Men. Every issue is a one shot, and there's no to be continued. So, yeah, I want to go to the credits and see who this guy is. Mahmoud Asrar and he's totally like a Francis Yu clone, but he might actually even be better. This is a stupid, pointless waste of $4. You get to see the Brood, you get to see daddy and son hunting, and it's like they say at the end here, oh, there's an accuser in space, and he's like, reload your rifle, son, new target. What are we hunting now, Dad? Better game. The end. People were telling me, I keep hearing on the Twitter sphere and all the people, oh, X-Men 8 was a great issue. Was it? 7, a great issue? You watch them slaying their kids. There's no story. There's just world building. And it's world building that doesn't seem to lead to anywhere. And you're being charged $4 for it. And you're being expected to buy all these issues. No, Ash, I already explained how you have to buy these issues. We already made this argument. And there's more to come. Look, now you're getting Hellions. Pretty soon we're going to be adding Children of the Atom to this list. I think there's X Factor is going to be added to this list. It's nonstop. You are being bilked. Is that the right word? Bilked? You're being scammed. This is shit. It's not necessarily as awful and off-putting as the last issue, but it's just Nothing Happens comics. And I'm bored.